Hello and welcome to one of the first videos of this channel, and I thought we'd start by going straight in there, and I'm going to show you a before and after of the complete destruction caused by the Japanese earthquake, which then also released a tsunami and utterly destroyed many parts of the east coast, and including a nuclear power plant. It didn't destroy it, it's gone up operational now, but it did cause some significant damage. So let's go in and go to Japan, and then I'll just show you some few areas. So if we quickly zoom to Japan, and what you'll see is that the tsunami came in from the east. So the entire east coast here was struck by the tsunami. It hit all over sort of the world, all over the coastline here, but Japan was the closest and was very severely hit. So let's go and see the before and after of the complete destruction. So this tsunami happened March the 11th, 2011. So we're just going to quickly put that in. One thing to bear in mind is that we are beholden to whatever pictures are available provided by this software. So at the time, you'll find that some pictures before 2011 were actually way before 2009. But just as long as we can get as close as possible before and after, especially the after, you'll be able to see the absolute devastation caused in some areas. So we go back in time and let's zoom in. The first place I want to show you is somewhere called Sendai. Sendai, Miyagi, Japan. This place was really struck, especially on the towns that were closer to the coastline. But this was the most severely struck area by the tsunami. So here we have a sort of before picture. I want to start by looking at the coastline. So here you see a very nice beach, and you see that it's long, straight, thin, yada, yada, yada. But if we then go to a time afterwards, then you'll be able to see exactly what happened. So the date just reset itself, so let's just go back in to the 12th. It was cloudy on the 12th, so less coverage. More cloudy on the 13th. The 14th is where we get the next best pictures. And if you just see here, you can see straight away, these light blue areas, these bluish areas, are now underwater. So what was a really nice coastline here, did you see that? Is now completely, utterly underwater. If you go back, it's incredible. See here, that really nice beach? We go forwards a few days and we see here utterly destroyed, and these areas here underwater. If we zoom in even more, these destroyed areas here, you can see here, look at this. That is just incredible. That is all debris, by the way. Just the power of these waves. I mean, look at this. We go back a few days before. You can even see it through the clouds. Here, you see that? Really nice town. Look at that. Inhabited, quite a lot of houses there. And if we go forwards a few days, 90% of them destroyed. Absolutely incredible. If we go sort of a bit further along the coast as well, up, you'll see here the beach is thinner as well. So things that weren't destroyed were definitely damaged. Look at that. That was the thickness of the beach before. It's gone like a sort of knife edge almost. Just continue going up. All this now, that has got areas of water still there, waterlogged at the very least. So even if you're a farmer and you had your crops growing there, the salt water would have destroyed them. Even if the crops had survived the earthquake and the initial hit of the tsunami, the salt water will kill most crops. Go further up the coastline here. We see here that this is no longer visible. That's completely destroyed again. If we go back, 2010 is the earliest date there. You see, very nice, lush green bit behind there, almost like marshland for wildlife and animals. Completely obliterated. What is interesting is the man-made coastal ports and sea defences seem to have mostly held. There's that bit there that's destroyed. This bit here, all destroyed. Look at that. Look at that. All these containers here that were probably neatly, nicely lined up, just gone like Skittles. Look at that. Yeah, see, look at that. They were laid out nicely, all that, and they're just like Skittles in a bowling alley. Look at that. And there's fires as well. This smoke here, what day is that? 14th. 3 days afterwards, there's still fires going on. Fires are still raging. And by the way, this is captured on satellites. So that fire is being seen from space. Let's make our way up the port now. Look at this. Look at that. It's a bit blurry. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Let's just go back. 2010 is what the least they can show us. Oh, Shintona. Let's go to a completely different area here. Look at this fishing port. This is a fishing village on one of the islands just off the east coast. 2010 is the earliest. Look at that. Do you see? Very nice, happy village here, fishing village here. Living their life, and suddenly the tsunami hit on the 11th, and this is 3 days after the tsunami. Completely wiped out. Absolutely incredible. This is another fishing village further up. Same thing, same situation. This picture, we can only go back to 2009. So this was it in 2009. Look at that. Traditional Japanese fishing village. Absolutely destroyed. Look at that. The ones up here survived. Interesting. But the ones down here, what was that? 80% of the village? Absolutely gone. Let's make our way up now. Let's go up. Let's go to Yamada. Look at that. You just look at that area there. Look at that. We just sort of go a few days before. 2010 is the image. Look at that. That, so colourful. Look at the red and blue roofs of that. Look at that, right? 3 days afterwards, let's find the nearest daylight picture. Look at that. Gone. Yamada. Fighting for survival right now. What's it like? You can see it sort of slowly building up to come together. It's 2015 now. Look at that. They're rebuilding like crazy, Yamada. Look at that. So they're getting their lives together, but that tsunami really wiped them out. That's I've pushed us a bit forwards there. So let's. Well, this is them in 2026 nowadays. Look at that. You wouldn't even know the tsunami happened. But there are still gaps. You can still see gaps today. What's this, 7th month, July 2026. You can still see those gaps. Okay, let's go back to around the time of the tsunami. Yeah, definitely those gaps. Okay, let's move on to somewhere else. Let's go all the way up. What's this big town? Hachino. Again, so sorry if I'm butchering the names. Hachino, look at that, right on the sea as well. Let's actually go a bit further back out and we'll see if we can see the destruction. No. Yeah, I think this seems to have escaped some of it. That's just from the zooming out that I've done. So the devastation seems to have sort of stopped a bit up there. Whether they had better flood defenses or not, don't know. But down here, let's go to Ishinomaki. So this was apparently one of the hardest hit regions, with 3,200 deaths just in this area alone. So if we zoom in, this is 2011. This is, yeah, look at that. You see there's gaps here. I want to see if that was gaps before. 2010 is previously, yeah. You see Tsukiyama, all these districts here, entire districts wiped out. And this is a highly residential area, one of the main towns of the area as well. Look at that. Gaps. Look at that. Let's go to the port. Look at that. I want to see what that was like before. To be honest, before it looked a bit rubbish as well. Yeah, it looked like it was like a main offloading area for some ore. Could be iron ore. Yeah, it was a bit of an industrial area that. Oh, let's try this area here. How was this? How did this fare? This is right on the sea edge. Look at that. Just that area here. Oh, that is bad, isn't it? That is bad. Look at that now. And if we go back, I think 2010 is the earliest one before tsunami. Look at that. Gone. Absolutely gone. That's like 90%. So this town apparently doesn't have a name. Seems to have fared all right, you know. There is a bit of a, looks like a bit of a coastline here going up. So that could have helped them out a lot. So this is the difference between having flat land like in Sendai and Ishinokawa, I think that's the name, and this place where there's a hill or ish going up. And so the tidal wave or tsunami would hit the coastline and just go in. You see here, the devastation is devastation here. Up here, you see, look at that. Exactly what I said. You'll go in, up, and it may come round, it may swirl round, but if you're on that hill, and just as long as the tide doesn't keep coming up and going higher, then you're all right. And that's proof. Higher ground. These houses all right, houses lower, demolished. There, nothing left. That's very interesting. Okay, let's move on to Tonogami. Look at Tonogami. Look at that. See, lower down, less of that cliff edge protecting them. So this is like a week after. If we go back to 2009, it's that dark, but you can see all those houses there, all those roofs. 1985, 2009, and then the day after the tsunami. Look at that. It's just destroyed it. It's just stripped it bare. That is incredible. That's actually the most stripping bare I've seen. Not even the rubble is there. So that's just a quick whistle-stop tour of the destruction shown before and after of the Japanese earthquake, which then brought on a tsunami. Hope you enjoyed that, walking it through with me, and then I'll catch you on the next video. Please do like and subscribe.